Hello! Did you know that August the 8th is an International Cat Day? Well, you do now. Unfortunately, I do not have any cats. I mean, apart from this cutie. Isn't he cute? So, yeah. I had such plans for reading for this vlog. And I'm like, yes, got the books right in time. Everything planned, everything nice. I hit a snag. So, well, first off, it's a lovely stack of books though, isn't it? One of my favorite books with a cat as a main character is actually Terry Pratchett's The Amazing Morris and His Educated Rodents. I read this years ago, and I'm not reading it for this vlog because I have an entire series of me rereading the entire Discworld series. And this, of course, is there. Now, I have these 4 gorgeous books featuring cats. I have Alex Howard's The Ghost Cat. I have Hiro Arikawa's, translated by Philip Gabriel's, The Goodbye Cat. I have Makoto Shinkai and Haruki Nakakawa's, translated by Ginny Tapley Takemori, She and Her Cat. Love the artwork. And I have Susu Natsukawa's, translated by Louise Hill Kawai, The Cat Who Saved Books. You may notice a little theme. 3 of these are Japanese translations. One is from Edinburgh, so Scottish. I had to think. And usually that wouldn't be a problem. However, my procrastination bad habits kicked in when I realized that how can I put this without sounding judgmental? Because here's the thing. These lovely books, they all have the same kind of vibe. This one is about a boy whose grandfather dies. And he inherits his bookshop, and then up pops a cat, and they have to go save books. This is, I believe, a bit of a collection of events, basically. And the main feature is a woman who takes in a cat. And the cat basically observes her in a tumultuous relationship. And then there are several other events. The Goodbye Cat is a collection of short stories. I actually tabbed them. There are 7. Very different in length. The first one is a bit of a chunker, and then there's one that's like a couple of pages. And the thing about these is that for the sake of my own mental health, I can't quite read them right now. So I need to put these aside. And now I'm entirely too happy with myself, because this means that I failed to plan properly. I should have checked them in advance, but I didn't. I did start The Ghost Cat, and quite frankly, I'm loving it. It is about Grimalkin, who dies of old age. He's 15 years old when he dies in 1902. He is absolutely a spoiled cat. He's been well taken care of. He's a spoiled little kitty cat. And he lives to old age. And that's in the prologue, like his last morning of life. And I kind of expected him to be, sadder. I was like, well, that's all the rest of the book. And I'm like, eh. There is a chapter after that where Grimalkin passes into like a middle type of existence, and he meets Cait Sith, excuse my pronunciation, who I really don't know anything about, but I think that he is he's a cat spirit. And in this case, he is king of cats, and his job seems to be to take care of cats and their spirits, and I really should look that up before opening my mouth. And then after that, because Grimalkin lived such a good life, he actually has all his basically 8 lives left. The first life is counted as 1. So that means that Cait Sith is like, well, you technically still have 8 lives left to live. So Grimalkin returns as a ghost cat. And I read the first 2 hauntings. It's just, this is such a nice way to look at the history of Edinburgh. I've been learning about, like, there's let's see, the first haunting actually involves, so yeah, the first the first chapter actually deals with Barry, the author of Peter Pan. And then the second hunting, it features, what's her name, the dearest? I think it's like Abigail Rockefeller. I kind of love her. And the red theme, or the red thread throughout this, is also Grimalkin's love for the charwoman, the lady who took care of the fire and in the old master's home, the man who, technically speaking, owed Grimalkin when he was alive. I've been pronouncing her name Eilidh, but I think the pronunciation actually came here. Eilidh. She is the one human character that Grimalkin actually loves. So, we do get to peek in on her, at least in the first and second huntings. Like, she's basically an old lady by the second hunting. And it's actually kind of through Eilidh that I fell in love with Abigail, because I was so ready to not like her, because rich person. She's a good kind of rich person. So I'm really looking forward to finishing this book today, and yeah, check back in. It's a few hours later, and I finished reading The Ghost Cat. I love this book. There were, of course, some sad moments, but there were so many just good moments as well. Grimalkin goes through 120 years of the history of Edinburgh, mainly from a single apartment that he lived in his entire life. And what I like about every single haunting in this book is that there is a major historical event, like the moon landing, the financial crisis of 2008. There is the coronation of Queen Elizabeth, and it ends on the day that Queen Elizabeth II passed away. There are so many moments, like big moments, that is so fascinating to see through the Edinburgh lens. As well, there is a personal events, personal stories linking with Grimalkin himself, like the entire thing with Eilidh. I want to say Eilidh. I'm going to say Eilidh. DH, I want to say Eilidh. His personal connection with her throughout. Like, she passes away the day of the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II. And like, there are like, there's literal passing away, and there is literal birth. There is severe bullying and comeuppance. So many wonderful things in the story, and I love it. I am so happy that I picked this. I'm still not in the mood to read any of the other 3 books that I had originally picked. I am still a little salty at myself for not having been more mindful of myself when picking out these books. That is on me, obviously, but I am so happy to have seen this book and picked it up. This book really made me happy. It made me feel, it made me giddy, it made me laugh, it made me like and actually both those things that made me go woohoo were linked with a Rockefeller. Like, okay. Like, there were events, like people connecting throughout the history of this tenement, this flat. There's a lot of story that you don't know, because you don't get to follow every single person who lives in the story, lives in this apartment. But then the story would be way bigger, and that's not a flaw. That's a built-in feature, because we only get to know what Grimalkin sees, what he sees when he is haunting the place. So I was also trying to do some painting. In my defense, I haven't touched acrylics for years. In my defense. So I was going to do this fantastic thing of, bursting out my acrylics and doing like a tiny little painting of a cat or something. But yeah, so plans fall through. Still managed to find and read a fantastic book that I absolutely fell in love with. Hopefully next year I will do better, because cats deserve that. Like, I had months and months ago, I had this entire thing planned out of me reading the entire stack until I figured out that I would not be good for me. And then I was gonna go and film cats in my town, and then I thought better of it, because I'm like, I mean, YouTube isn't like it was like 10, 15 years ago, when YouTube literally would tell you what people in your area were watching. So you would know what was popular. Like, I knew what was popular in my town. It did unveil one dishonest temporary co-worker who was faking being ill using makeup, because I saw that same tutorial because YouTube told me about it. And I'm like, well, over a decade later, I'm still like, listen, YouTube told on you, so that's not something that YouTube does anymore. And I'm rumbling about that because I had this epiphany, a moment of clarity. I'm like, those are not my cats. And it would be really, really creepy for my neighbors, if they ever happen to see this video, to see pictures and videos of their cats on the internet. It would be cute. Like, I swear every single cat in my neighborhood is so dang cute, even when they're fighting. Like, there is a fluff ball, a fluffy grey cat that I decided is male because it's a grey cat, who has fairly frequent spats with one of the ladies in my neighborhood. She's I think she's a tabby. I let her tortoise shell, because there were two of them. Like, one was a tabby and the other one was a tortie, and might be a tortie. I'm rambling, sorry, but those both are female, and they're both, like, goodness, whenever that poor grey cat comes along, it's on sight. It is on. Like, his fur is all over the place. Thank goodness he has such a thick coat. But yeah, the cats in my neighborhood are adorable, so cute. I love them. I'm not filming them. That would be a little bit too creepy. I'm still loving them though. So yeah, I'm gonna end this video here. Yeah, happy International Cat Day. I hope that you've had, if you don't have a cat like me, that at least you have some neighborhood cats that are just adorable. Or failing that, a teddy bear, stuffed animal, and a book to keep you company. So with that said, have a jolly happy purry day of it. Okay? Until next time. Bless.